Ladies and gentlemen, all office bearers of GEO, Dr. Amita Jaspal, Ms. Himani Chandrokar, and all the lovely audience, teachers whom I call aspiring students, ladies and gentlemen, once again, uh, thank you very much for the brief, though I start from zero every day and I end with zero every day. In humility, my name is Nitin. You can call me Tintin or by any other name because I think my life post 2611 has been beyond names, has been beyond typical positions of an executive sous chef or a sous chef or a cook. Life has been very, very interesting and changed post 2611. So I've been with the Taj for 29 years in humility. I'm 29 years old, young with the Tatas. It's my first job. And I'm very, very, in fact, it's an honor and a pleasure having been invited by GEO for this session of From Trials to Triumph, or what we have undergone, that is from adversity into resilience as a Tata Group. So today what I'm going to be showcasing you is a little bit about IHCL, a little bit about Tatas, and a little bit about my own personal journey, which I always thought is very, very important, or I rather thought from 2611, it was 17 years finished on the 26th this month. And there were few learnings I learned, and it's been my endeavor to share these learnings with all the people whom I meet, with all the stakeholders whom I'm associated with at the IHCL, with each and every guest whom I meet, and with each and every person whom I meet. It's like you would have heard in your language that एक सत्संग होता है जो अगर एक छोटी एज में लिया जाए तो एक गोल्ड मेडल होता है, and then when it comes down to the middle age, then it becomes like a silver, and then when you learn it at around later part of your life, the value is just about at a bronze level. So I'll start about my journey. So I think I will also correlate all my learnings from HR perspective. I'm basically a cook by profession. I'm from IHM Mumbai, a Delhi boy who actually lands into Mumbai in the year 1992. And now I'm settled in Mumbai. And more the reason I have a lot of regards, I better have, and no complaints from my own HR because my wife is a HR personnel for the last 17 years with Tatas, right? So, never dare HR. That's what I've learned. So I will definitely try and attempt to link the learnings, what I had from HR per se, from HR and IR, industrial relation per se, and also about how leaders are built up from basic value system of companies. So when you have that value system intact, then starts the process of building the leadership qualities in them. So I'll start with a basic video, it's an immersive video. Just watch it, with just an open heart and see what is IHCL, that is the Indian Hotel Company Limited, and what are we into? We are into a world of hospitality. We create experiences. We create experiences through a word called as Tajness. At Taj, Tajness is something which is felt. There's no definition to it. You walk into a Taj hotel, you feel something good, you feel something relatable, you feel something that could be historic, you feel something that has enriched your life, and that is called Tajness. So just a small video before I proceed. So, sir, she's the mother for me. It's been this year is going to be 121 years for her. And the Taj Mahal Palace, Mumbai, I was born actually as a small chef in the year 1995, where I joined. And moving ahead, a little bit about Taj. I forgot to mention 2024, 2024 as well. We have been ranked once again as the strongest brand across the sectors and industries by Brand Finance, right? So this recognition comes from a basic value system. There's something which is being done in this group. There's something which is happening. There's something which is percolating every second from the group into its various companies, which makes us proud recipients of this award. So I always say it's a story of resilience. So from triumphs, from trials to triumphs, right? So for me, it was adversity to resilience, which I could relate, and I could relate it better through this incident. So just coming back to IHCL, a history of resilience it has. So we had 16 December 1903 when this hotel opened up, the mother, right? And Mr. Tata spent more than 300,000 sterling pounds on the Taj Mahal hotel. And as the story goes, I mean, you would be knowing, you know, he was denied entry into the hotel as an Indian. It was Watson Hotel, where Indians and unquote, the dogs are not allowed, right? So he felt that I'm going to be creating, or we are going to be creating a hotel which is beyond religions, which is beyond races, and it's for the common people. So that is the origin of this hotel, why this hotel came up into existence. It was equipped with the best the world had to offer at that time. We still have these. If you go to Taj Mahal Palace now also, I was there 2 days back. The American fans, the elevators, the Turkish bathtubs, and the butlers, you had the best of everything at that time, right? So that was Tata's. So at Tata's, we basically operate, and when we talk about Tata's, like I belong to the IHCL. So at the Taj, the soul of a culture, it's basically the Taj, word Taj, right? Is trust. Trust means what? Between each other, with our stakeholders. So that's one value of trust, which you will find in the company everywhere you go. Then there is awareness of what is happening around you. How is your colleague next to you is doing? How is he? What is the customer thinking about? So we are in the present moment every time. We are capturing live. We are capturing live experiences every time in this world of hospitality, which is human driven, totally human driven. And then we talk about joy. We talk about joy at work. Even a simple pat on the back of your colleague, which can get a smile, right? We celebrate. We celebrate. So I think hospitality is a soldier's job. It's a tough job. I think all the jobs are tough today, right? We can't say a police. Earlier we had this notion that yes, army job is tough. I come from a family of the army guys. I'm the only one in my white chef coat, right? So every line, every service industry, all of us are doing a tough job, right? It is not that an army guy is doing a tough job, or the IT guy is not doing a tough job, or for that matter at HR you even have the most of the toughest job, right? So we are operating on 3 systems of trust, awareness, and joys. And where do these values are derived from? Basically Tata values. Tata values talk about, you know, it's about integrity, about excellence, unity, responsibility, and we take a pride in pioneering on things. So Tajness also talks about being genuine. When I say genuine, it means truthful. It means being honest. It means being transparent. It means accepting, yes, I'm wrong. It means in humility and humbleness that yes, I have made a mistake. What is the next? You keep on moving. You don't stop. You don't have an attitude of no, I'm right. right? So I'll come to this later on. We talk about being authentic. Authentic, we create experiences which are close to being authentic. And then there is, we go, we believe in being personal. So hospitality is all about being personal to the customers who come to us, right? We personalize their stays, we address them by their names. There's a lot of data which is collected. So there's a lot which goes, and this is made to be experienced by the customer who comes to us and he keeps on coming back to us. So now, adversity and resilience, what made colleagues make the choices they did? So now coming back to myself, again in humility and humbleness, I was only 13, 12 years old in the company at that time when 2611 happened. I graduated from the IHM Mumbai. I was handling the Zodiac Grill, a fine dine restaurant, Golden Dragon, and all the restaurants. And till then, was very, very happy to be with Tatas. And I had been through 12 years of an ecosystem where my training was very strong. When I was inducted, I could see Atithi Devo Bhava everywhere. But not to be rectified. We had mission cards, vision cards in our pockets, which used to say Atithi Devo Bhava, what is the mission of the company, what is the vision of the company. The Taj magazine used to be there. We used to talk about interactions. We used to be proudly talking about the guests whom we were coming with us. So till the night of 2611, I was fairly happy, and I was very happy that yes, I'm with Tata's and a very good company. And I was growing. In humility, I traveled across the world. I was part of the opening of many restaurants. I was part of the research and development team under Chef Hemant Oberoi. I had just recently come back from Culinary Olympics, which I represented India in. So all those worldly feats, all of us do that. So I was also doing that. So on 2611, I was in my Golden Dragon counter, a Chinese counter where I was dispensing food. So I hear a shot in. I thought that somebody is whipping it's like somebody is whipping hunters on the floor. I call up my chef. So I said, Chef, you know what, there's a shooting going on. So he said, Kaun hai? Salman hai ki Shah Rukh hai? What does this show? How naive, how innocent we are, or we were. We are no more that innocent. We are innocent, yes, but we are aware. We are aware. We were not trained to be handling such situations. So the moment we came to know, as always, we went around, we made chains, we tried to rescue all the guests, we took them, we offered them food, we saw different set of guests. Now see, try and relate these guests whom I'm talking in terms of your customers, right? They are demanding. They are into a situation where they may not comprehend what is the situation. You might know about markets, you know about the market is going to fall, you may talk about what is happening in the ecosystem, but the customer doesn't know that. Customer, can I have my wine please? Where's my food? We did not deny anybody. Whatever we had, we served. There were people whom we served wine. They were all kept in different places. We were doing the evacuation from the back of the hotel. And during that time, I had a gunshot on my hand. I mean, I survived it. There was one bullet which passed by my heart. I was not lucky, I was destined. My hand was totally ruptured. It was supposed to be amputated, which the doctors told me after 2 years. Now again, when we talk about the value system, right, it comes from the true leadership. That's gentleman. I will never call him late Mr. Ratan Tata because I think he still lives in everybody's hearts, and he used to fondly call me the bullet chef, whenever he used to see me. So he was there on the next day at 10 o'clock next to my bedside in Bombay Hospital. And not only me, he was conversing with me, and I just, So I said, sir, everything is fine. I'm a chef, right? So like a butcher, I said, I've just lost a little bit of mince from my hand. My hand was fully finished. I lost 6 inches of my bone. I lost all my tendons. My hand is on one tendon, was supposed to be completely restructured, replastered, all plastics. But see that gentleman, he comes and I used to cook for him before also. But he did not do this to me. He did it to everybody in the Taj. He visited. He not only visited us, he visited everybody who was there from the Oberois. He visited everybody who was there from the CST station, where we had the maximum number of casualties, right? So that again, we'll come to that later on, leadership. So why did people did not run away as a choice? They were with us, right? And believe me, there was no heroics. Today when I stand, I think there's a hero in all of you. Hero is a very, very small word. Hero is a word which is a made word for a person who has been through something. Now for me, what does a hero, my dad was an ex-Pakistan war veteran. I said, who are heroes? Who are the people who are given awards, right? We were also awarded. But for me, that was not important at all. I'll be very honest. Heroes are, I come to this hall, I come to Vadodara, I'm not feeling safe. You said, Nitin, don't worry. Come, I'll help you. Is that heroics? That's a basic cultural. So basically, colleagues, when they made the choice here, I saw my own friends staying in the hotel after the customers, serving them. I did not have anybody in my team who actually says, okay, leave them. I'm feeling scared. I'm running off on the road. It did not happen like that. And I was there with, I attended a session of Professor Rohit Deshpande day before yesterday at the Taj Lands End, where I had more insights into this study. He made a nice study of, praising the ordinary heroes of the Taj. So till now, I have not seen Hotel Mumbai. Till now, I have not read the Harvard study. Till now, I have not done anything on this subject because I lived every moment of it, right? But when I see people talking about it, I first listen to them. What is your thought? And then at the afterwards of it, I share my feelings, what we underwent, and what were the things which led us not to run from that place. So, basic instinct was not to leave the place, to help your guest, Atithi Devo Bhava, and wo jo mission and vision statement jo 12 saal se I was carrying in my pocket, that suddenly bloomed. So this value system, when you take candidates and when you refer to leadership qualities, when you talk about people, when you give the required knowledge to people, see, something is genetic in you. A little bit is, all of us, we come from an Indian culture. Then second thing which makes us as a true person are your parents and the value system, what you get at your home, irrespective of which part of the country you come from, India, right? Third was Tata values, which was a fertile soil to harbor these candidates with a nice value system. So, us din, there was nobody who ran away. I lost 7 of my chefs, and in total we lost 32 people, out of which, if you go to the Tree of Life memorial at the Taj Mahal, it talks about Lucy, dog. His life was beyond a male or a female or a human. It was for an animal. It was for a soul, right? So that is what I learned, that what this company meant for. And post that day, my whole perception of being at the Tatas changed 360 degrees of what I already was a fan. I was already living their values. But gentlemen and ladies, it changed my perspective of where is this coming from. And post that day, I had few learnings in my life, which I'm going to be sharing at the end of this presentation. I'm still at 25, 28. But the thing is, those value system, it became my endeavor to share these learnings, with every individual, with every guest whom I meet on a day-to-day interaction. That's probably an ode to the chefs and the guest whom we lost on that night. That this should be known. That's the best respect you can give to the young chefs of 21 years of age, 24 years of age, 26 years of age. Somebody was supposed to be going to become a mama, The next day had asked me for a leave, right? 60 days of leave. I said, dear, I cannot give you 60 days of leave. 30 days I can grant, but for 60 days you need to go to my boss. And my boss at that time was Chef Hemant Oberoi, right? Then I had 2, 3 other chefs. The next day morning when I get up in the hospital, these people were not existing anymore in the world. They were not there, right? So we will move ahead. Again, I'll take a break and come back to this. So basically Tata's 1839-1904, value-based corporation, a visionary, a pioneer, a leader since 1868. So if you visit the Taj Mahal Palace, when you climb the grand staircase, you have his big statue there, and I think there's a garlanding which happens on his birthday. Then we have the legacy. You will find these photographs and they're leaders by themselves. Mr. Jamsetji Tata, Mr. J.R.D. Tata, and Mr. Ratan Tata. And I was there at the funeral of Mr. Ratan Tata, and believe me, I'll just love to share for the people who are not there. I have time, so I'm sharing all these things. So I saw people crying. I saw lines and lines, running into kilometers at the NCPA. I was doing the line management there next to where the casket was laid. I saw people from different spheres of life whom may not be working at Tata's, but they were touched by the company, right? So I saw that unconditional love for this gentleman. Then, as we all know, the foundation was laid, they took to the skies, they make it global. So today we see Tata Group as wherever you go, you want to buy a medicine, you go to 1mg, you go to a big biscuit. So you go to a Tanish, you go to a Titan. So very proud of this, being part of this. So this is something which I really love this. Mr. Don Dungaji, one of the gentlemen in Bombay House, he had written, if I was to sum up my understanding of Tata in a single sentence, I would simply say, Tata is an idea, right? An idea that represents the best in man. Very simple. And I think I am a firm believer of this. And then at the Taj, if you see, we focus on long-term relationship building, which is part of our hospitality business. Now, when I talk about hospitality business, the other day, I was just privileged to be addressing some senior leadership from TCS, Asia Pacific. Then I was addressing Tata Tele employees. So whenever we talk about being hospitable, yes, we have the advantage of long-term relationship building and customer centricity. And when we talk about them, it is not only in Tata's that, yes, we have the maximum contact reach point out to the guests because we are in the front of the house operations. It's hospitality. 60-80% of the people, you'll find them engaging with people. But that doesn't mean that in all the companies of the world, you are engaging with a customer on a day-to-day basis, whether it's through an email or whether it's through a physical contact or in any way. So what is that value system which you need to maintain? I can help you in that, a little of what I have learned. So within the Taj, we focus on long-term relationships. Once I share my card with you, you become a family to me. You become a family to the Tatas. You become a family to the IHCL. You visit one Taj hotel, right? Your database is appearing at all the Taj hotels across. All your needs and wants, your likes and dislikes are being captured. Now, you might say, I went, I did not get. See, this is a part of a journey, right? You can never say it's not utopia. I am there, I am the best, I've done it all. So at Tata's, we don't feel that. We say it's a journey. So whatever you're trying to, even when you have accomplished something, it's a small milestone. You keep on moving ahead. You never say, no, I have done it, I know it all. That sort of a mentality and that sort of a psychology doesn't exist in us. We get compliments, we get complaints. But the endeavor is to keep on moving on. We don't stop at compliments and more, we don't stop at complaints. We keep on moving ahead with a very, very proactive attitude and approach towards our customers. Now, legal and ethical boundaries and safe practices is very, very synonymous with us. Tata Code of Conduct is my Bible. Of course, there are other instruments like what you call in HR, the POSH, Tata Code of Conduct, TPAM. So everything is legalized. And in my whole career, I have never felt that I am dealing in any or I'm in a situation which is not very, very legal. It's a little dishonest. It's not transparent. Now we try to create an emotional connect with all the customers. Now when I talk about a customer, he's just not a guest to us. He's like a family to us, you know. Whenever you come to Taj, I may falter. I may make a mistake. But the endeavor is always going to be being in connect with you, being in touch with you and showcasing the best for you. Now operate like your own business. So that leads to the financials. We also do business, right? And since the time Mr. Chatwal and the new company has come, by the way, we have 300 hotels at the moment, 350 hotels, out of which about 118 are in the pipeline. And as per the strategy for 2030, we'll be having 700 hotels all across. So I'll come back to 2611 back again. So Taj Public Service Welfare Trust basically was formalized in 2611, has impacted millions and millions of people, and basically they deal in disasters which come out of man-made disasters or natural disasters, and they have been responsible for helping out everybody. Now, just to add a small note, 2611, the colleagues whom I lost, their salary structures starting from the age when we lost them in peace till the age of their retirals was done by Mr. Tata, who spearheaded this project. I was given assistance all across. I had a complete access to the countries. I had the best doctors available to me for my hand repair. I had 10 surgeries to correct my bone replacements, my tendon replacements, all the plastics. So it was very personal and, you know, a human approach. I came to work every day inspired. I had machines. I was having graftings done. So I saw these people being fully supportive throughout. There was not even a 0.1% time where actually I had to ask. Before I could ask, I was asked for assistance. Nitin, are you comfortable? What do we do next? My tickets were organized for the best doctors in UK, but I didn't go because we have the best doctors in the country who go and operate outside. So coming on to this trust, Mr. Puneet Chatwal again on 2611, he said that since its inception 16 years ago, the trust has worked on a range of relief and rehabilitative initiatives for the people. And then drawing inspiration from the resilience of those affected and the valor of those who selflessly came at their aid, Taj Public Welfare Trust continues to support individuals and communities impacted by such disasters and empowers them to rebuild their lives with dignity. Now today, the outreach has reached 5 million beneficiaries along 23 states and 60 districts. Now, this I have talked to you about the IHCL. Now, we talk about trials, or I call adversity. Now, what is adversity? So primarily, these were my learnings 16 years ago. It's turned 17 years now, since 2611. So what was that adversity which we faced during 2611? Hotel was broken, fire in the dome, loss of lives, loss of morale, a very sad state. But you know, actually, within a month's time, the restaurants were operational. Mr. Krishna Kumar, Mr. Tata, and all the senior leadership and all the team members, we all got together. I was, of course, hospitalized. I was having my surgeries, but the team on the ground, they made no stone unturned to get this mother back within the shortest possible time for the guest. In fact, after this, they were new. The lobby was renovated. The Shamiana was renovated. We got the souk renovated. So all these things happened on a structural form. But what were my learnings, you know? On 26/11, there was a new. Okay, I'll tell you one more thing. We carry our egos. I mean, I'm just being very. Um, I apologize for this. All of us have egos. We are associated with I. Who am I? Nitin Minocha. Me, myself, right? On that night also, when I was asked the second day morning, no, Nitin, अरे क्या हुआ यार? What happened? How do you survive? मैंने बोला यार, you know what? I was able to save myself. After when I got shot, I just fumbled this and that, and I finally survived. It was totally a falsified statement. Next day, my friend got me a chopstick, which I always used to carry here. It had a clean sharp nail on my chopstick, and I was saved from brush across my heart. So basically, whatever you do is destined. Sorry if you may differ from my thinking, but this is what I learned a little. My life became beyond names, beyond religions. उस दिन ये भी ख्याल आना अरे क्या हुआ यार? It's a terrorist attack. We have just one body. We have got blood color red. We've got the body structure same. We see only one sun and one moon wherever we go in the globe, right? तो फिर वो चार गॉड कैसे हो सकते हैं? मतलब आई एम अ बॉर्न हिंदू. आई रीड माई बाइबल ऑल्सो. I have done, I respect religions. But go to think of it, I told my daughter and my friends, yeah, don't waste your time into all this now. Be a human and live for the day. And when you talk about building up leaders, right? वो लीडरशिप जब आती है ना, उसके पहले जब आप किसी को टीच करते हो, आप प्रोग्राम करते हो, यू डू ऑल दिस थिंग. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, I think if not, you can see other people's examples. You're very, very privileged. So first, power of gratitude, I don't see anywhere. The principle of gratitude, that is Shukrana. I think if we start following, there were people whom I lost in a second. They were shot straight. They did not have tomorrow what I'm going to eat, tomorrow what I'm going to do, tomorrow after 2 months what I aspire to be, after 3 months what I'm supposed to be doing, right? Nothing of this happens, it's only in the mind. Tomorrow we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So I think I started living my life for the day. I became more empathetic. I saw myself in others. Today also when I'm at work, I see the perspective or the other stakeholder, that is my internal customer, that is my employee, that is my fellow partner, my colleague. I see my guest from what perspective they are talking about. See, it is very easy for us to say that customer, I am right and customer is wrong. But in today's time, the customer is the king. We better listen to him, there's no choice. They teach you a lot. If you actually spend some 15 minutes to yourself, you will find that most of the voices of the customer, they give you a true reflection of what exact business you are doing on the floor. We often tend to ignore it, but I think we take it very, very seriously. Even if 5% of the customers, according to you, or 10% of the customers are not right, but they are pretending to be right, there's a learning from them, you better say, yes, sir, I'll look into it. Be compassionate, show empathy, but don't negate them because they are your business, right? So that is what we believe in. I became more compassionate post 26/11. More compassionate, yes, because I saw life going on very quickly. It was a testing of resilience. It was a testing of inner strength, right? Then comes confidence. Then for us, overcoming limitations. So I think if you have seen the worst, if you have seen yourself being close to death, what else is there to fear? I think I just saw in one of the presentations, fear not. So when you mentioned, there's no fear. There's no fear of anything. And then it also, when you undergo trials, how do you turn them into triumphs is, when you undergo a trial, you start learning new techniques. I was a Reiki practitioner every time. I was close with Art of Living. Your spiritual connect, whichever spiritual connect you have, is very, very important in your day-to-day functioning. So don't forget that. That part of the culture is a very, very person-centric approach. But I always try to nourish that. Whichever source of power or whichever wants to connect with you, or you want to, very, very essential in creating leadership as well. And then of course, your character development happens when you undergo adversity. So I think diversity is a preparation for greatness, which I have seen on a personal level at the Tata Group. And whenever there has been adversity, best of the companies and they have come out in the most metaphoricized way. They have transformed themselves. They have got new thinking. They started thinking out of the box. They started doing wonderful things which they never thought could be done. And it sounds very apt for me. Turn your wounds into wisdom. So if there are wounds in terms of your trials and your adversities, I think the best part is you have to convert them into wisdom. What did you learn from them? And the best thing what you have to do in today's life is to share. Whatever you've been through it, you have been through ups and downs, or you have been through any inconveniences, you have been through a loss, you have been through business losses. I think introspection is the key. I think during 2611 in the Taj, we had a strong team to get the hotel back, not only to say that we are back in a month, That was a time when we actually thought we could rebuild the model and reinstill the faith in our customers. And today also when I talk about this incident to many other people, there's an emotional connect. And just coming back to you, when we had this discussion with, I was one of the invitees in that. So Dr. Deshpande, Professor Deshpande, he actually cautioned this to people. There were people from TCS, there were people from Raymond's, there were people and CHROs from different companies. He asked one question, if this incident of 2611 would have happened in Taj Boston, would they have behaved in the same way? Few said yes, few said no. Then he said, if in case this would have happened in TCS, would they have behaved in the same way? One of the ladies said no, because we are not into hospitality. I was asking to be, I was raising my hand, I want to answer you. So, you know what? In humility once again, since I had been through that, today after having spent little, the best part is tomorrow if I take it for granted, that I've spent 29 years, I'm finished. So that's why I say I'd start from zero, I finish with zero. Next day is a fresh baby, Nitin or Tintin growing up. I always say that. If you take this baggage every time with, your years of experience, yes, years of experience, they help you. But don't let your learning stop. So I wanted to say that, yes, tomorrow if it happens, see there are ifs and buts for everything in life. But till the time you're part of that journey, maybe you're not enjoying it, but you're witnessing it. Let the journey happen, because so that the people who will come 10 years after you or 15 years, you would have actually established a very, very robust process for them. Right? So I told him, that's why if in case we discussed, it would have happened in a Tata store or a TCS, the value system, sir, would have been at least to help out. I could not relate that just because Taj Mahal Mumbai was an iconic hotel, that is why people worked like that. We also related to the number of years, so it had got nothing. We had a lady who was just about 2 years in the system. She also saved people. There was a 24, I was 12 years then, we were all involved. So it had nothing to do with the data structure of number of years. Is it a mother hotel? That's why we did that. So there were no ifs and buts. It was primarily the vision which Tatas had set at one moment of time. And whenever you teach something, whenever you try to inculcate something, we wait for instant results. That by 6 months, I've done my training. It's going to bloom like a lotus flower. At least I can tell you one thing, that from 1800s when the Taj came out and the Tatas came out, I think on 2611 there was a sudden bloom out of all the information and knowledge and value system which was inculcated in the team. So these are the times, they may bloom or they may not bloom, but you are sure that if in case of any adversity happens, it will bloom. So that's all from my side. And thank you very much. If in case you have any questions, I still have around 4 minutes and 40 seconds.
The floor
That's all
is
my
now open to
story.
questions.
And so, before I say, whenever I go, when you clap, I think that clap is for your own self. Whenever I talk, whenever I share, the intention is not, there are no heroics involved here, there are no experiences involved here. You would have done the same of what we all did, right? I'm just here to give you a little facts. Intention is to only share, and if in case you can make your lives better. I don't know if you've read Science Sacharitra or any other epic. What is the function of a guru in life, or a teacher? Doesn't need to be a senior guy. Huh? Guru can be your 2-month intern also who could teach you something. So the intention of a guru is the one who wards off the light and he tells you, beta, don't go aage. There's a khadda in the front. Don't go. He guides you. So the intention is guru could be anybody in your lives. But your role, or whatever you learn in your companies, if you can share it and prevent people from not making those mistakes in the future, and you show the right way to them, is primarily the intent of my talk. So, ma'am, any questions? I have time.
We will have 2 questions.
Yes. Sure, sir.
You can throw some more light on the values that you spoke about.
Yes.
I remember in Tata, they do a lot of training on the values of the people.
Yes.
What is that process, if it can be shared, and how people live those values right from top to bottom on day-to-day basis? Because that will help organizations to build that up.
So the value system is the moment you join. I think again that was a point of discussion when we were sitting day before yesterday in that workshop at Taj Lands End at the Harvard study. So primarily, sir, this the value system, and in the hospitality industry, the induction and the training is not 2 months or 3 months. It's proper 1.5 years to 2 years. When I joined Taj, I had 2 years of HOMT training, right? And the value system, and there was a big role of corporate, of L&D and HR to play in inculcating those values. There was re-emphasis on the value system. See, for example, honesty with my supplier, transparency with my supplier. What is Tata Code of Conduct? So, matlab, today after that we have nowadays we have a thing called as Taj Swagat, which is mandatory for all the employees when they join Taj at a apprentice level or a commie level, which is a basic entry level. That person might have just a experience of a graduation, or maybe not graduation. He might be just would have done a vocational course. But the concept of value system, the Tata Code of Conduct, these things are re-emphasized very, very strongly to them. So I think on that day, again, as I told you, nobody had to actually come and read, ki, bhaiya, what am I supposed to be doing? So this is a slow build-up of the value system, what you're talking, sir, and it's part of your day-to-day job. So for example, in my day-to-day job, if I'm talking to a supplier, I don't need to talk. As an executive chef or a chef in my role, I do not contact my suppliers. There's a purchase who deals with the suppliers. I'm not supposed to be coming in touch with any of the vendors, So there's strict things in place. And of course, we are developing day by day by day and with the expansion. But this value system is something which the HR and the L&D plays a very, very big responsible role in that.
I think we can have one last question from backside.
Good afternoon, and thank you for such an insightful session. Myself, Arpita. I just wanted to ask one question that I think it's been more than 2 decades you are with Taj, and that shows the legacy and I think the legacy of retention as well. So just one question, if you could share your insight, that what is one thing in today's organizations are not doing correct, for which they are seeing the higher retention, iteration rate, and what they can, just one thing they can do.
First of all, I would love to say that every organization, what they were doing in their endeavors, they're doing correct. First, I mean,
Yeah.
the intent is always good, but maybe the exposure to not using an effective technique or what the others are not doing is, I think Tatas have been synonymous with, it's not like that attrition doesn't happen with us, it happens, that's a fact. So today the companies need to actually look like how Sir said in the previous presentation, giving bonus on time, looking at the salary structure, there's a one pizza, right, with the different toppings. So whether you want it as a basic increase or you want a superannuation, the same things apply to everybody. You have to be very, very adaptive, and you have to be very, very open to what the current generation wants. Like today's generation doesn't want to wait for their retirals to come and superannuation to come, but they want more cash in their hand. So you need to be very, very adaptive in terms of, you need to be very, see, you should know whether it's Gen X, Gen Y or Gen Z or any, you need to be working for the day. Okay, you might think this is not correct. You don't need to work on what you have been doing since a long time, what has been effective. You have to use the gun as how the enemy, what you see. I always use this, you have to use the right gun to counteract. So your methodology has to change with changing times, and you have to be agile.
Correct. So being an L&D
I
professional
think that's it.
specifically.
We are running short on
Okay,
time.
thank you.